Hey everybody, it's Coach Wharton here with onlinebikecoach.com, and I'm going to give you a quick update on the Fitness HRV app and the Fitness ECG app. What we did was I ended up splitting the Ant Plus dongles, so now I've got two, and I've got one that's still running Perf Pro in the traditional method, providing load and gradient and other things like that. But the data that's coming in from for Fitness HRV is what you can see on the screen right now. At the top, we've got Alpha 1, DFA Alpha 1, and in the green vertical bars, those are known as artifacts, and we need to keep track of those because sometimes the jersey can create contamination of the data. Sometimes it's a heart disease issue, other things like that. But below a certain threshold, it's actually okay. But we are trapping that data. Now below that, you'll see that I've got SMO2, saturated muscle oxygen, and we're pulling that off of Moxie, one of my favorite products. I've been using it for over 10 years now. And what we're trying to look at is the correlation between saturated muscle oxygen levels and DFA alpha 1 levels. We're trying to, again, this is a scientific instrument as well as a training instrument, but we're going to go with the science first and foremost. We get that information, and then we'll be able to turn around and use it to try and better correlate whether our DFA alpha 1 truly is at a certain level as compared to saturated muscle oxygen. And we're going to be adding the VO2 Master. That device is now in the hands of the programmer, Mr. Stuart Lynn, and I'm real excited to share that with you as we progress. Now, the third row that you see is good old-fashioned wattage. It's a little on the rough side. It's kind of janky right now, but we'll be smoothing that out. And then below that, you've got traditional heart rate and you've got cadence. Now, if you look very carefully at the second box, and you'll see there's a very, very thin gray line. That is total hemoglobin, or THB. Now, we're going to refine that down to a level between 10 and 15 in a future alpha release. But the more important thing is that you will be able to look at that information. Now, here's where we have to leap into conjecture as well as science. Conjecture-wise, I see data there that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. Science-wise, honestly, it probably needs a little bit of time to catch up. The purpose of the software is to give it to you, the end user, so that you can then put that information onto one screen in tight formation and see if you can see the same thing that I'm seeing, and then we can make studies with a higher in count that will then be able to be published for peer review. Anyway, just an example of what's going on. We are using both HRV and ECG. Right now the ECG is just showing V2 and V3 on a Polar H10, and it's giving us good information. I'll be glad to share my screen with you, but the long and the short of it is I have left ventricular hypertrophy and I've got a massive R wave. And I'm not even going to come up with any medical diagnosis with that because, again, I'm a mad scientist, I'm not a scientist, and I'm not a doctor. Anyway, just a little example of what we're working on. We will continue to implement features. We will be incorporating load from a wireless trainer. We are going to incorporate CompuTrainers because, let's face it, there's there's several hundred of us left, and they're usable. So let's enjoy the ride. Thanks for watching.